All right, I think we're recording. Again, this is new agent training, very first class of this session. And we're going to talk about prospecting and we're going to talk about lead gen. It's always the dreaded thing, but it's probably the most important thing as far as growing your real estate business. So, great class to join today. This is going to be a 6-week series, and we're going to do it every Monday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Same Zoom link, same time. So the best thing to do probably is just to go ahead and put a calendar reminder for yourself, again, every Monday, Thursday, and use that same Zoom link that you used today to join. And at the end of this call today, we'll talk about what the next 5 weeks will look like as well. So you'll have a little schedule on what you can anticipate that we're going to talk about. There is a past playlist available on YouTube of all these sessions. So if you want to get ahead of yourself, or if maybe you miss a class, it is a way to check it out too. And basically, if you just search my name, Pam Saxman, you should be able to find it. And there's a whole playlist that says New Agent Training. Again, this is only Zoom because I'm in 2 different locations depending on what day of the week. So it would drive you guys nuts. And I don't think you're coming to Wilmington, North Carolina with me. And if there's anything that you guys in particular want to learn about, please feel free to text me, call me, email me, because I want this to be as interactive and I want to give you guys the information that you're really looking forward to. All right, so let's start talking about prospecting and lead gen. But first, before we do that, we almost have to talk about the equation, right? To get the results or to hit your goals that you want to. We will talk a lot about mindset as we go through this series. Probably about 95% of your success to me is going to be in your mind. Being able to battle through some of those tough days, being able to battle through the things that you don't want to do, right? In order to get the results that you want. We're going to talk a ton about action because your mind can be great, but if you're not taking the right actions to grow your business, you're still not going to see the results that you really want. So remember, without action, it is really nothing but a dream. So we're going to tackle that action part today. Okay. So growing your business, lead gen. This is going to seem really basic, right? But think about lead gen and the conversations and what you do daily is truly to kind of grow your database. It's to add people in your life that you want to get to know. It's to just build this big network, right? Through your CRM or through whatever way you track your clients. But think about that. There's 2 separate sections, right? For the people that we know, we don't want to forget about those. Every other firm will tell you, grab a phone and call people that you know. And that is certainly a significant part of your business. You can't neglect that. So everyone that you're friends with or neighbors or just people that would know you, you have to make sure that they know that you're in real estate. So demonstrate your success to them. You can do that through social media. Ask for referrals. And I will tell you in this section alone, when I first started in real estate, the very first thing that I did, because I'm a good Southern girl, I got some note cards and I wrote to all my friends, family, past coworkers. I was in pharmaceutical sales for about 20 years. So I knew a lot of doctors. I reached out to them personally and said, hey, change careers. I wanted to let you know that I'm in real estate now and would love to help or answer any questions. Just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that I'm in real estate. I'm trying to scream it from the rooftop. Smiley face, because that's my personality. I put 2 cards in there and said, keep one for yourself and feel free to give the other one away. I can't tell you how many people called me, sent me emails, just, hey, girl, I saw your note card. That is great. When you share yourself with people, you tell them your goals, it is amazing what people will do to rally for your success. They will become advocates for you, some of them. So don't forget the people that you know. But if you're like me, I also don't want to just continually beat up the people that I know. I have a high desire to meet more people, or at least have contact with folks that I can follow up with, I can put in my database. So I have this mindset of There are more people that I don't know than I do know. So, how do I get to know them? Right? What kind of activities can I meet more people? How can I grow my database? So, those are some of the things we're going to talk about today. If you don't know them, there's two ways that you can basically get a hold of them. Effort. We talk a lot about that today. That's cold calling, that's open houses, that's internet leads, that's putting yourself out there through your activities. And maybe the other part are some paid leads. We'll talk a little bit about paid lead services too, because I think when you're starting out, it can certainly be a part of your business. I am one to be cheap and cheerful though. Don't go out and spend a ton of money as you get started, right? Let your effort be your currency, but you're going to have to work hard at it, right? If you don't have a ton of money to invest in marketing, just know you're going to have to work at this, and that's okay, right? How do people feel about prospecting? I mean, I found this meme online. And I would say it's probably the truth. The most hated part of the sales process. Most of us don't mind loving on people. Most of us can be very good at writing contracts, negotiating, and all those things. But we can be in our heads to not want to put ourselves out there to meet people. Because, see, we're all afraid of rejection. And the more people I reach out to, what if they don't like me? Or what if they don't want me in their world? Right? It's awkward. Maybe so, but get accustomed to it, right? Almost embrace the no's. That's all right. One more no gets me closer to a yes. So just keep moving. This is probably the most important thing for your business. And I will tell you to start it right now. You're brand new agents. Don't wait till you get all your marketing perfect. Don't wait till you get your listing presentation exactly like you want it, because you'll understand 30, 60, 90 days out that this business takes a while to get things going. It does. And if you wait that long, you will go a long time without a paycheck. And I believe this is probably the singular biggest reason why a lot of real estate agents leave the business after their first year or first 2 years. It's because they don't embrace this need or desire to prospect or lead gen to grow business. If you can get a handle on this, the rest is easy. All right, so you have to almost train yourself to give yourself the time in order to do this. Because I have watched and I have experienced this personally. What you'll want to do is everything else but prospect. You'll answer that email that's not really important, right? You'll pick up that phone of a friend that's kind of calling to shoot the shit. There's so many things that you'll do to put off this time of day that you need to dedicate in order to get prospecting done. So embrace, I would encourage you, and we'll talk more about this on Thursday when we do best business practices, is time blocking. And honestly, this big block of prospecting, I could break it out into smaller chunks. I could do 30 minutes on past client follow-up. I could do 30 minutes on calling for sell by owners, 30 minutes on expired. I could break this down infinitely smaller, and that would actually probably serve me. Because if you look at the calendar, bam, start, bam, stop, bam, start, bam, stop. And what is good is this is you'll get alerts. You know, it'll tell you, hey, Ellen, it's time for you to start prospecting. So I find if you can dedicate time in the day to do it every single day and you just get in these good habits, then it's something that you almost crave to do, because then you start seeing the results. So just don't let this be the part. Just don't let this be the thing that you put off every single day because you're wanting to put out little fires or answer emails. Be diligent. Be proactive in your business, not reactive. Hey, Brandon. Love seeing faces, especially people that I know. So this is awesome. So just use a good schedule. I will tell you, if you can get in the habit, even if it's not every single day, everyone has different business goals. Some of us want to close 50 deals per year. That's me next year. That's my goal. It's 50 personal. So if I'm going to do that, I have to have the right activities to get me there. We'll talk more again about time blocking on Thursday for best business practices. So, in concept, keep it simple. Keep it truly simple, because if it's simple, you can track it. If it's simple, you'll know what your results are. Think in your head, how can I talk to 5 to 10 people per day about real estate? It doesn't seem like a lot, right? 5 to 10 people, talk to them, have a conversation about real estate. And then what is my plan to follow up? I don't want you guys to have a bunch of one off conversations with no ability to follow up. So we're going to be smart and strategic on how I can get information so that it's not just a one conversation and we're done. We're going to put a plan in place to follow up with everyone that we add to our database. I just showed you my calendar. When am I going to do this? Marty Hampton, I've shared this story over and over again, but I love it because she is, y'all, she's a tiger. She's driven, she is successful. She's probably one of the most successful agents in the country over the years. But when she first started, she didn't have a lot of time. She was working another job. She had 2 small kids. She was a mom. She was a single mom. She would lock herself into a closet from 4 to 6 every afternoon. She would get her kids early dinner. She would put them in front of the television. I don't think she's afraid to, apologize for that. But she did what she had to do. From 4 to 6 every day was her money making time, and she was committed to it. I'm more of a morning person because if I don't do it in the morning, something will happen. Some fire's going to come up. Brandon's shaking his head. You know it. And you're like, dang it. My phone is quiet. I will tell you, my phone is quiet till about 11:30 because no other agents are working. So I don't get that other cross agent asking me for a document or when to close. So that's me. I do morning, but Marty obviously is super successful doing it in the afternoon. Just do it. How am I tracking the activity? You got to make sure that you're tracking it every single day because you want duplicatable results. We'll talk about that again in best business practices, but make sure you get in that mindset of tracking. And who's going to hold me accountable to this? Is anybody holding me accountable to this? Can I hold myself accountable? I can. Not a lot of people are particularly good at it, though. That's the problem. All right, so let's get into the fun conversation. So, traditional ways to lead gen. And honestly, it's anything. If you can open your mouth and talk to someone, anybody, that's lead gen. So keep it simple, right? Just conversations. Just 5 conversations, 5 to 10 conversations with somebody somewhere every day about real estate. So there's many, many ways to do it. We'll talk about even more. Referrals are awesome. Social media is bigger and bigger. Cold calling, mailings, advertising, client dinners, networking events, newsletters. The places are on and on. So when people say they don't have leads, I'm like, there's people everywhere. Literally people everywhere. They're all leads. They're all leads. They may not be buying, but they may know someone that is. So you have to just open up your mind to abundance. There's possibilities everywhere. All right, if Brandon were to call me and said, Pam, I want to make $200,000 next year, no ifs, ands, or buts, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm ready. I've got to pay off all this stuff. I want to make money. I would probably tell him, Brandon, it's one of the most uncomfortable things in the entire planet to do. However, it's probably the one that's going to make you the most money the fastest. And the reason why is typically you're calling people that are your hot sellers. And when I say that, I mean for sell by owners, expired properties, some of the off-market ones, canceled listings. Those are hot seller leads. We're all looking for them. Are they hard calls to make? Yes. Is it a lot of other people making those calls? Yes. If you're setting your expectation to slay it day one, it's probably the wrong intention. But if you understand that these people are people, we're having conversations, we're following up with them, we're providing value, then long term you can be super successful. There's a lot of agents. Phil Demuse's team does a lot of cold calling, and he's uber successful. And that is how he built his business. That's how Tina Call originally built her business, was by making cold calls. Is it old school? Yes. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. Can you be super successful doing it? 100%. So I want everybody to know, and I'll show you a little picture of it. We do have a script book, because usually the first question is like, all right, Pam, I'll do it. Tell me, what do I need to do? There is a script book that gives you some of the words on what to say. Because sometimes people just need that, right? What do I even say? How do I even start the conversation? So it gives you the needed questions to determine objections and motivation. It truly tells you what to say. Prospecting books or sheets, it will help you track your activities. Theoretically, if you do this every single day, at the end of a period of time, you will absolutely know how many calls you need to make in order to make an appointment typically. How many appointments do I make in order to get a listing? You'll be able to track this. So if you have higher goals, you would know how many more calls, how many more appointments that you need to make in order to hit your goals. I will say, don't practice on clients. Do some daily practice. Write down this telephone number right here. It is a top team in Michigan, and every morning they get together and they role play. Listen in until you get comfortable, and then participate. Find somebody else that's on this mission that wants to do cold calling. Practice with them. You'll get really good on your feet on handling objections. And it really makes you actually better working with clients, because your clients will have some similar objections, like around pricing and negotiation and commission. So if you get really good in your script work, you're actually probably a better agent, again, on your feet, being able to answer objections. So please do that, because I will tell you, the first few calls you make can be tough. But I've also seen people that had a rough time starting, and then once they got in the habit, and then they started making a couple of appointments, and then they got a couple of listings, they became hungry for it. So you can do it if you want to. How do I get those numbers to call? I'll show you in just a minute. There's a lot of systems that you can essentially pay for to get these telephone numbers. I like Mojo. There's also Vulcan. RedX is another one. There's several different programs that you can pay for, and they will give you all those telephone numbers. And they're also operate as dialers to make you efficient. Where do I see them on MLS? So if you just want to try calling for sell by owners, you can actually get most of those telephone numbers for free through Zillow. One of their categories is for sell by owner. It's also a company that's called for sellbyowner.com. You can go on those, and those for sell by owners have their telephone number listed, because they have to, right? They have to advertise it. And you can call them and have a conversation with them, like, how's it going? How many showings have you had? What kind of quality of people have been calling you? And again, it's coming from a place of, how can I help you? Not trying to sell them immediately right off the gate, but how's it going and how can I help you? Expireds and canceled, you can see on MLS. If you go into the hot sheets on the top right corner of Paragon, you will see that you can pull, some of those properties. You can at least take a look at them. You won't be able to get the telephone number there, though. I will tell you, don't spend hours looking at those properties online. Just call them. The script is the same, no matter if it's a $200,000 house or a $4 million house. The script is the same. And it's less about the house and more about the experience of the client. Cold calling. There are different categories: expired, for sale by owners, circle. The circle prospecting is really like just listed, just sold, or circle can be, hey, my clients really love, love, love your neighborhood. And as you know, there's not a ton of homes for sale in your neighborhood. I'm just calling to see if you know of, someone that has mentioned that they're thinking about selling. And if they are, I would love to chat with them. Then the conversation goes into, what about you guys? What keeps you there? What do you love about it? Have you thought about moving anytime soon? All conversation starters. The great thing about some of those phone calls is you can talk to them about the follow up, right? The expired. They probably have had a poor experience maybe with another agent, or they overpriced it, or their condition is off. All right. I know it's probably a lot to you right now. Can I call you back next week? Maybe I can just pop by and give you some pointers. Or we can talk about what your next steps are to get it back on the market so you can get to your final destination. For sell by owners, hey, I'd love to pop over there and just give you some pointers. And let's talk about how to get it sold, how I can help you get it sold. Circle, just listed, just sold. Again, hey guys, I know you're a ways out on trying to sell your property. It sounds like maybe next spring. Would it be okay if I give you a call back in maybe 3 weeks just to make sure that something hasn't changed? And we could talk a little bit about the neighborhood and what's going on in it. How does that sound? The way to follow up with people. And I'm adding these folks to my database, right, as I have conversations with them. All right, here's a little beat up version of the script book. I have a digital copy. If you want one, please, in the chat box, provide your email address. Before I get off today, I'll grab those emails. And I'll be happy to email you a digital copy of the script book. Version on the right, you can actually ask for this too if you want it. It is a way to kind of track your day and to get you started in the morning. So every day I'm hustling. I can set how many appointments today before noon. Like, this is my goal. These are my priorities for the day. And then as I make a dial, I can make an X. I mean, just a cross through. As we have a connection, right? They just answer the phone. I can place an X in the box as we're going through. If I make an appointment, I could fill in the box. I could circle it. Visually, this is great. If you're a note taker, a to-do list person like me, you feel like you're making progress, right? You can see it visually really quickly. Hey, it looks like today I made 15 phone calls, I made 10 connections, and I made one appointment out of that. And then your nurtures added. These are people that are not, I didn't make an appointment with them, but perhaps I need to put them on a listing alert, or they're long-term people. And I just want to make sure I'm putting them on a drip campaign. Okay. Oops. All right. So these little sheets can be really great to just keep you organized and help you track. If you took these sheets every day and then put it in a spreadsheet for what you're doing every single week, again, you can do some math to have a duplicatable business. All right, if I make 15 calls, when I make 15 calls, I normally make one appointment. Well, next year I want to grow my business by 50%. So then I need to make 30 calls to make 15 connections to make 2 appointments per day. That's kind of how some of that works. But if you don't know what you're doing, it's hard to plan for what you want to do next year. All right, so this is just a snapshot of a company called Mojo. I mentioned it's one of the dialers out there. As you can see on the left-hand side, it has all the lists. Active, don't call inactive, cancel. Those are good. For whatever reason, they have canceled their listing agreement with their current agent. Expireds, it expired before it sold. The question is why? Which is one of the questions in the script. Why do you think it didn't sell? For sell by owners and then off-market properties. With a program like Mojo, you can also do a neighborhood search. And what that would be is like for just listed, just sold, or maybe I have a buyer client I'm trying to target a neighborhood in. I can do a neighborhood search, drop a pin, draw a circle or polygon or whatever, and it will pull all of those numbers into my dialing list here at the bottom. It will also scrub it for do not call. So these can be incredibly helpful. I will tell you, they're not perfect lists though. You will sometimes call someone as I'm on a do not call list. I never fight with anyone I say, I am so sorry. I use a scrubbed list, but I apologize if it didn't capture you accurately. I'll remove you from my list today. And thank you so much. So just keep it simple. But Mojo is a great little program. Again, it's a dialer. So what I can do, and I've got a video of this on my YouTube page, is you can click on a list. So I could just call all expireds and it will power dial. It will continue to dial these numbers until someone answers. And then you answer and you do your script. Okay. I hope this is at least helpful. Mojo is not cheap. It is not cheap. So with all of these things, make sure it is something you're committed to doing first, and then you can invest in something like this. If you just want addresses, if you just, there's other ways, there's other programs you can do that inexpensively. Okay. All right, let's talk about door knocking. That's another one, right? That's maybe a little bit outside of your comfort zone. And we've been in COVID times, so perhaps it's maybe an odd concept for you to think about door knocking at this particular time. However, I do think people are craving more personal face-to-face interactions. So there've been several agents that are like, it's time. I want to get out. I want to meet people and I'm better when I'm face-to-face. So you can do it. There's lots of people that have grown their business using this as a primary means to grow their business. I will say you can make for more phone calls than you can physically door knocking, but I totally understand. I think I'm better in person than I am on the phone as well. Think about some things though before you go out. Where would be a good place to door knock? What time of day would be a good place to knock? What you're usually looking for are some of those great neighborhoods that have a lot of turnover. All of us kind of know those neighborhoods, right? Where it seems like every time you drive by, there's, 5 or 6 signs in the neighborhood. And you're like, good Lord, it's just one of those neighborhoods. And that's fine. Those are great. But it just means that people typically don't stay there very long. And it's kind of transitional. So that could be a good place. Your own personal neighborhood can be an awesome place to also door knock because they're your neighbors. You can have a different conversation with them because you know the area really well. You probably know the stats because you've been looking at all the things online about that neighborhood. So you're coming from a place of real value. I would just choose 1 or 2 neighborhoods probably and just try to physically farm it. Anything that you can do, and you can do it in multiple different ways in the same places, gets you a layered effect. And what I mean by that is if you had 2 to 3 neighborhoods that you door knocked, and also maybe you called them, and also maybe you did a slide broadcast, which is where you voicemail drop them. Oh, and then maybe you do a postcard to those neighborhoods. And then you created a newsletter for those. Can you imagine? Now they're seeing you not in just one place, they're seeing you in multiple different facets to the point where they're like, good Lord, Donna's everywhere. She's everywhere. So they begin to get your name out there. It's all about the follow-up. Again, I don't like activities if I just have to do it, I can just do it one time. That's not where I'm going to shine. It's not where I'm going to have impact and people aren't going to remember me. But if I can do things over and over and over again and people get to know me, it makes me more comfortable, makes them more comfortable too. Always think about bringing something of value. Remember, I've said that over and over and over again. It's not about what I want, it's what I can give you. And it's okay for me to want something from you as long as I'm giving you something of value that's useful, that you feel like it's worth asking for their information in return, if that makes sense. I have used these little door tags before. These are available in EXP Market Center for the folks that don't answer the door because, obviously COVID times and some people just don't like solicitors. There's also like little, something that you can give. Like this is a little koozie and it actually had a free ice cream cone coupon inside. And I think it had a pen. There were a couple little things that are stuffed inside the koozie. And so you feel like you're giving something and people are much more receptive when they get something right out of the gate. But I want to take it a step further. I think what could be really impactful is to have a market report with you. And you can get market reports from your KV Core account. You can also get it from RPR. There's lots of places that you can get them from. List reports. I could go on and on. But something that talks about the neighborhood, like comps, actives, pending, sold. Is this neighborhood trending up? Trending down? What's the activity looking like? And what I would do is after I talk to them a little bit, introduce myself, then I would say, hey, for our neighbors, I typically about just once a month will send a market report out to everyone just so you kind of know what's going on with property values, right? I think we're all curious, especially with the economy the way it is right now. Is that something that you would be interested in? You'd be surprised. A lot of people are like, well, that sounds good. Like I promise not to spam you. I always make it a little joke. Again, it's my personality. Perfect. What's the best email address for you? And I say best email address because I don't want to get their trash folder email because we all have one, right? What's the best email address for you? And I'll write it down. This is my opportunity for follow up. Again, I don't want to have just one awkward conversation at their door. I want the ability to follow up with them so they know who I am and they know that I'm coming from a place of value to help them. That's where it becomes impactful, not just the singular knock at the door. It's hard to hit a home run. You might, but it's hard to hit a home run right out of the gate. The follow up is key. Same thing with farming. How do we determine neighborhoods that are good to farm? We just talked about that, right? Some of the neighborhoods that have some turnover, great price points, everybody's looking in those neighborhoods, maybe the one that I live in. And then you start to think about how do I market to these folks? Again, I love the layered effect because that is what helps something like a postcard stand out. I'm going to put newsletters probably in this category too. I don't know about you guys, but I've laughed at my interactions with postcards over the years. In my neighborhood, I think I don't get that many of them from real estate agents, which is funny. I should do more of them. But I'll get one and then I'll look at it on the way to the trash can. Right? We look and we're like, well, what firm is that? Huh. I always look at the agent's picture. I don't know why, but I do. And then I look at it real quickly. I mean, maybe 10 seconds. And then I throw it in the trash can. There was one agent though, and she was doing well. She was spending she was sending us maybe once a month. Postcards got a little bit larger. They looked a little bit different. So maybe by 6 months in, I'm like, well, damn, she's really spending some money. She's got some staying power. Who is this? So I paid more attention to her. Here's the problem. She stopped. She stopped. She stopped when I started to notice her. That's what we all do. We'll do postcards for like a month and then we're like, well, I didn't get anything from that. Stop. I did internet leads for a month. I didn't get anything from that. Stop. Understand something like postcards. The return on investment for these can be 12 to 18 months. So remember, if you're going to do farming, it's great. You can do it. It's going to take a little bit of a budget. And it's also going to take you, repeating repetitively sending them something. So as long as you know that, right, and you plan for it, it's fine. It's building your business, it's putting yourself out there. It's just going to be it's going to take you a minute probably to get some return on it. I've had calls from postcards though. They do work. But I've also sent a bunch of batches out and didn't get anything for it too. Just listed, just sold can be a great time to do a postcard as well. If you get a property and you list it, send a postcard out to that neighborhood because hopefully you're going to back it up with a, hey, when we just sold it too. So that's 2 opportunities in the neighborhood. Bam, bam. You can get noticed through results that way. So consider those. You could also do a postcard just around those market reports like we just talked about, the market stats. There's lots of different ways to do it. So there's a program, there's bunches of them out there, but there's one that a lot of EXP agents use. It's called Core Facts. And they have some templated postcards and programs where you put your information in and then it will basically, you could set a little system up of once a month, I want this type, and it'll change it enough but it'll look similar, which is important because people will know, they'll notice repetition. Costs money to do that though, but it's a good program. Check it out. Or if you want to do old school, have some printed, have some postcards printed, and then pull the addresses. CRS tax, which you guys should have it, replaced realist in our systems. You can use it for prospecting tools. So just know that. Marketing and farming. You don't have to go to Canva. You don't have to hire a graphic designer. Just know that too. In our marketing center in EXP, there is a ton of material that you can use. The door hangers that I just showed you right here. Postcards. There's a system here too. If you want to design them and print them, do it here. I think they also have a connection where you can upload the mailing list and they will take care of mailing it for you at a nominal fee, right? So you don't have to go too far. You've got a great system in our marketing programs at EXP. All right, I'm going to spend a little time here and I should redo this slide. I cannot tell you how powerful social media is. But also let me tell you, I hate social media personally. If I didn't have to be on it, I would not. I don't love showing my daily life. I don't love showing my personal family. I don't love a lot of that. But me and my family have come to an agreement that this shit works and it's okay. We embrace and we view social media in a very different way now. We're very intentional with it. Now, I do incorporate my family. I do try to share some things so that my real family can see our life like I think social media is intended. But make no mistake about it. A lot of the things that I post out there around homes, around real estate, and I trickle in some of that. It's not all the time, but people know that I'm a real estate agent and they know where I work, especially in my stories. Every single day, there's something there around real estate. I have received clients that have called me and said, I found you on social media. I found you on Facebook. And then I went to your YouTube page and I saw some videos. I think you do, and you are exactly what I'm looking for. Will you be my real estate agent? Who here on this call would hate that phone call? There's not a soul. It was done nothing but just posting some, I think, decent material out there and showing people who I am and who we are. So use it. Get out of your head. It does not have to be perfect. It does not. But it is a way, as a new agent, there's probably nothing more powerful than social media. And the reason why is you can start to show your friends and family that you're a realtor. You're looking at houses. You're building new homes. You're going to new home construction communities. You're talking about the things that you're seeing out there. Again, not in people's face all the time. But then guess what your family starts to do? Oh, okay. I guess she's really doing this. You don't have to sell a thing. Perception is reality. If people see you out there showing homes, they see you out there hustling, guess what they're thinking? Wow, she really hit the ground running. She must really know what she's doing. So use it. Use YouTube. Use Instagram, Facebook. I'm not on TikTok because I cannot do one more thing. But I see you guys out there on TikTok doing a great job as real estate agents. It's about staying in front of people. Video, video, video. Let me say that one more time. Video. I know who some of you are on this phone, and you're going to think, I'm terrible on video. I don't want to do it. I get it. Don't record the video 30 times. Record it one time. If you stumble on your words, that's okay. We stumble on our words as we talk. Lord knows I've stumbled on my words today in this call. You're showing who you are. People don't want canned perfection. They don't. They really don't. They're looking for someone that's genuine, someone that they can have fun with, that they can relate to, that's also skilled at what they do. Again, there's no better way to show it than on social media and video. Ashley by Maria, Bomarito, Daniel Harvey, Tina Call. I could go on and on. A lot of these ladies have grown their business through social media. One of my agents, Christy Spence, who's not on today, she just got a listing appointment from doing some video on Instagram. She's pretty consistent with it, and she's cute, she's fun, but she's also sharing tidbits and knowledge about the area that she serves. She doesn't know this person, and they reached out and said, "Hey, we're thinking of selling our house. Do you mind coming out and take a look at it?" Sure, we can do that. Follow other agents. If you're not sure what to say or what to do, follow some other agents and see how they're doing it, the successful ones, or people that have similar personalities that you think, all right, well, I want to see what kind of things they're doing because I think I might be able to do that. Whatever you do, be sure to be authentic, be genuine, be who you are, and share it out there. It is amazing how much people will embrace it. So do not snooze on social media. It's going to grow and be just even bigger than it is right now. Okay. All right, we're running short on time. I always like to keep these for about an hour. So we're going to pick up the pace just a smidge. Open houses. As new agents, I don't think there's any place to grow faster than an open house. You're belly to belly, right? You're in front of somebody that is looking at homes. So, but there are some tips to make it a better open house than just an average one, because you can have an open house and no one shows up. So let's talk about how you choose a house, right? If you can, choose one that is just fresh on the market. So the newer the better, usually. That first weekend is normally the hottest for activity. Also choose one that, if you can, that the price point is really good. Like, what price point are people really looking in right now? Probably 350 to 550 would be the hottest price point. It's sexy to do a $2 million open house. Do not get me wrong. But a lot of those folks have agents, and you get a lot of looky-loos, people that aren't just really serious buyers. So choose ones that have some good exposure if you can, where you could put some great directional signs like this picture shows, that you may get some traffic. You may see some people may just see the sign from the road and will pull in. A house that's like 5 miles into a 10-mile neighborhood may be a bit of a challenge to put breadcrumbs out there. Okay. All right. Make it an event. And what I mean by that is, don't just the morning of the event put up 2 signs, show up 15 minutes before the open and anticipate that it's just going to be a rock star event. If you want leads from an open house, which is why you really do them, it's uncommon to sell a house from an open house, but the opportunity to meet more buyers is really one of the greatest chances when you're doing an open house. I hope that makes sense. Make it an event. Call that neighborhood a day before and say, "Hey guys, just wanted to let you know we just listed a property on your street. It's 123 Main Street. We're going to do an open house this Saturday from 2 to 4. So then maybe a little bit of extra street traffic that day. I want to give you a heads up on that. But I also would love for you to pop by. I'd like to meet you. And I know people commonly are curious what their neighbors' homes look like. I'm going to get there probably around 1:15 though. So if you want to beat the rush and just pop in before we have the open, just know that you're welcome to stop by anytime after 1:15 on Saturday. And you just talk with them a little bit. You've announced it. You could even send invitations. You could door knock prior and make sure the neighbors know, like, "Hey guys, tomorrow we're going to have this awesome open house. I'm going to serve some mimosas, and we just really love for you to pop by. And I'd love to talk." So anybody that that may be just kind of interested or curious, just tell them to swing on by and meet me. That'd be great. Invite everybody. Do things like boosting with KB Core. Run some Facebook advertisements with it. Create some events. Do Eventbrites, Facebook events. Try to generate traffic. Again, it's the opportunity to be face to face with people. Talking about real estate is amazing. But again, not just putting two signs out 15 minutes prior to the open. I mean, then you're just hoping. You're just putting it out there for luck that people come. When you are there, be prepared. Bring list reports, MLS sheets, bring disclosures. Here's something else. Bring some other properties that match this home. Talking square footage, price point, kind of location a little bit. Because when you're having the conversation, hey, what do you guys think? My sellers would love some feedback on what you thought of the home. And they're going to say 9 times out of 10, that's a great house. We're just started looking. So we're not really serious right now. We didn't really love the yard. So we're just going to keep looking, but thank you. It's like, thank you so much for that feedback. Hey, I went ahead and pulled some other properties that are really similar to this one in the area. I wouldn't mind shooting it over to you if that's something that would be interesting to you. And they may go, well, yeah, that'd be great. It's like, perfect. Well, what's your cell phone number? And I'll just text you the link to it. All right. Guess what? Now I have their cell phone number. Oh, what's a great email address? I'll just go ahead and email it over to you. All right. Now I have their email address. I have the opportunity to follow up with them. People don't mind giving you their information as long as they're getting something in return. When we're shoving clipboards in their face right from the start, asking for their information, a lot of people are very leery of that, right? Why am I going to give you my info? So just be prepared, be be willing to talk about the property beyond the surface level, and also understanding they're probably not going to buy this house. That's cool. I have other houses. You could talk about coming soons. Like, hey, one thing you guys might not have access to is our coming soon properties. Those are not on Zillow. Those are not on realtor.com. Those are ones that we can see that are going to be hitting the market over the next couple of weeks. This market moves so fast. Would you like me to add you to my list for coming soon properties? And that way I can make sure every week or when they hit the market as a coming soon, you'd have first dibs on those. How's that sound to you? That's something different, right? I think that's great. All right. Also, be sure you register people. I like to have two different methods. KV Core has an open house app. And so people will digitally sign in, which for some people, they prefer that. The advantage of that too is that it automatically sets these people up on a listing alert based around the parameters of the home that you're doing the open house in. So that's pretty cool. And you don't have to set that up or anything. And I also have a paper sheet for folks that don't like the digital, or maybe or have a run of people and you have multiple people trying to sign in at the same time. You may have an iPad and you have a paper form too. Here's one other thing I want to talk to you about is on follow-up for open houses. Do not get in your head and think, I just talked to these people today. I'm going to maybe call them back Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Guess what? They went to 3 other open houses and they may forget about you between now and then. Be proactive, get out of your head, and don't be afraid to follow up with people. They want an assertive agent. They don't want an aggressive one, but they do want an assertive one. Because remember, you're going to be negotiating for them. So you're showing them who you are. What I like to do after the open is just shoot them a text later on, or even better, if you could do a video text and say, hey, really great to meet you guys today. So happy you brought your daughter, Olivia. Really enjoyed meeting her today too. Just wanted to say, hey, again, thank you. I'll reach out to you guys in a couple of days just to see how things are going. And in the meantime, if you need anything or have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. It's different, right? Than maybe a phone call or maybe an email 2 or 3 days after an open house. They see my face, they see me smiling. I mentioned their daughter's name. It's these types of things that can help differentiate you. So get out of your head, follow up with people. There is a video here. We don't have time to really show it today. There is a gentleman who is hilarious. He's like Ferris Realty Group. You can look him up on YouTube. He does amazing videos of the homes that he's going to have an open house in. And they're funny. It shows him more than it shows the house. And he has people follow his YouTube page to see his open house videos. Again, he had probably a ton of clicks on his open houses because he's putting himself out there in video and showing his personality. So just kind of a good example. All right, we're trucking. All right, KV Core Internet leads. Now, I would probably never tell you to base your business 100% solely on internet leads. However, I think they are a great supplemental group of people, and they certainly can add to my database really quickly. So, what do I mean by internet leads? These are ways you use technology, and they're also ones that you normally have to add a little bit of advertising dollars or gasoline to your Facebook or your paid lead system that you're running. Some examples of these are landing pages where you're trying to target a specific audience. Like, hey, folks, who's looking for a house with a pool? Click here to see all the homes that have pools. Hey, sellers, are you curious about what your home valuation is right now? Click here to get a little bit more information on your exact evaluation of your home. That's a landing page. Squeeze pages can be, hey guys, who wants to see the open house list for Wake County for this weekend? Hey, who wants to see all the just listed properties in Wake County this weekend? Squeeze pages are essentially crafted searches that you put in front of people that entices them to register. Then they give you they give you their information, and you're providing them the information that you advertise. You get a lot of people that click on these. And again, if you get outside of your sphere by boosting or doing an ad, then you're meeting more people. There's pros and cons with this though. Con, you paid for it. Con, a lot of these folks are very early on in their search. So you're not going to probably get a ton of hot leads, but that's okay. The pro is that I'm growing my database of people that I know or want to know, and I have the opportunity to drip on them, call them, follow up with them. So that is truly the pro. I also want my pipeline to not be just hot leads, but warm leads and cold leads, because I'm going to nurture these people, right? So when they're ready, they're going to be seeing stuff from me over these months. And so when they're ready, I'm their agent. So just keep this in mind. Again, I wouldn't run personally. Plenty of people do. I would not run a business solely on internet leads, but they are super important. You're just meeting people at the top of the sales funnel. So just be patient with them. All right. So there's other ones, right? Let's go back and talk. Let's don't forget our sphere. We talked about how to grow with new. Don't forget the people that you do know. Past clients. And I'm not talking about just in real estate, but if you've had past clients in another sales position, maybe you sold cars. Those are past clients. Those are opportunities of people that may be needing a service. Core 100 referrals. As a new agent, talk to plumbers, electricians, contractors, painters, attorneys, mortgage lenders. All these people have interactions with folks that may be getting their house ready to sell or maybe needing your services down the road. You want to build those relationships with people. Hey man, I know you are a plumber and you are probably doing a lot of work with people that are, kind of getting their house gussied up and getting ready to sell it. If you hear of anybody that may be looking to sell, would you mind passing on my card? And I will do the same to you. Whenever anyone mentions plumbing, you're going to be my guy. Another way to get your name out there. Networking groups, there's tons of them. And there's a lot of them, the business groups that will allow like one realtor per group. If you can get in within, that's great. It's that same kind of concept, right? You're my banker, I'm the realtor, you're my mortgage lender, you're the attorney. Community groups. So some people, I think this is a hard mental concept of why I don't want to volunteer someone and just to see if I can ask people for business. That's not the concept here. The concept here is that you can't know people if you're just sitting in your house all day. I don't know, maybe you can. There's so much technology nowadays. I think I'm old school. But if you have a big life with a lot of people in it, there's just naturally you meet people, you talk to them, right? Well, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm a pharmaceutical sales rep. Well, what do you do? Well, I'm a real estate agent. Well, that's great. Let's talk about that. If there's something that you're passionate about, whether it's a church group or a volunteer group, just know that these are opportunities to help give back. They're also opportunities to meet more people, expanding your network. So keep that in mind. Handwritten notes. Again, I mentioned it at the beginning of the call. Old is new. I don't know about y'all, but between the the real estate postcards, the junk ads, the bills, if I get a handwritten note, I open it always, and I'm thankful for it. People right now are feeling isolated, tired, and are looking for something deep. You have the opportunity with a handwritten note or actually a personal phone call. So keep that in mind. Old school can be good school. Neighborhood newsletters. I just added this. I think this can be really powerful. If you're not just coming at it from I'm going to sell you something, it's all real estate, but maybe what's going on in the neighborhood? Are there any activities? Are there any needs that the neighborhood has? And then, yeah, sprinkle in a little bit of real estate. My old neighborhood, there was an agent that did this once a month. And at first, it was a little cheesy, but I will tell you, he made himself the neighborhood agent by doing it. So it can work. It's just the return long term investment, right? Sponsoring an event or organization, radio, print, billboards. I'm even looking at billboards right now. Costs some money, but if you have a budget for it, it can generate leads for you. Paid leads, Zillow, Realtor, Homes.com, bold leads, making it rain. There's tons of them. Everybody out there wants to take your money as a real estate agent if you haven't figured that out yet. So just be careful. Track it. If you spend the money, track it to make sure you're getting a good return on that. So if you're not, you can get out of that contract as early as you're contractually allowed to. I do Zillow leads right now. I'm sorry. I know they're the devil, but guess what? They work for me. So right now, I'm still spending some money on Zillow leads. Standing at Walmart. I say this because literally, if you stood in front of Walmart and you passed out your card or passed out a market report, you would meet some people that may be interested in your service. It's not something I want to do, but again, it's just getting in front of a bunch of people every single day, whatever it takes. Okay. We're not going to spend a ton of time here, but just know again, I've said it over and over again. Follow up, follow up, follow up. That's why you're adding people to your database. It's not for the today necessarily, it's for the tomorrow. So we'll talk more at a later date on drip campaigns in our KB core system. We'll also talk about how do you categorize people? Truly, what is a hot client versus a nurture client? There's value in both of them. Get out of your head. You're 100% not following up too much. I assure you, you're not. Use your CRM or technology to help you define, tag, organize your database. It will not take you long if you do this right to go from dozens to hundreds to thousands of people in your database. But they will all start to sound the same if you don't start right now as a new agent on categorizing and tagging people so that you can figure it out. Automate when you can. And one final piece on this whole follow-up thing too. I have a theory. Every single buyer, I don't care if you're looking 2 years from now, I want to see if I can put you on a listing alert. Now, for my people that are a little bit further out, I don't send them ASAP as soon as something hits an alert. I send it to them. I have the system send it to them once a day. So they don't get overwhelmed. And it also will tell me when they open it. So it's interesting. I'll see people that told me they were 2 years, and they're the ones that are looking every single day. Curious. Is it really 2 years? Probably not. But the technology will help you kind of see that. Every seller potential. Someone says, we'll probably sell in about 2 years from now. We're just not really sure. We're trying to figure our stuff out. Perfect. I get it. So what I want to do is put you on a market report, and you'll just get a little report from me once a month that just keeps you abreast of what's going on in and around your neighborhood. How does that sound? I'm sounding like a broken record, right? Once a month in their email, they get this little report that shows them active, pending, and sold. And it looks pretty snappy. And I will have people, HomeBot, I love their system. HomeBot is amazing. It's 25 bucks a month, but their market reports are amazing. They have all these like graphs that look great. People open those damn things. I opened them before I ever even started signing up for them. Market reports really work. You'll get people to go, oh my gosh, I can't believe you spent that much time on that. And you think to yourself, because I didn't. The system did it. And I've gotten listings from market reports before, so they can be valuable. Every buyer, listing alert. Every seller, market report. We'll do this later. We'll do that later. Okay, so kind of wrap this up a little bit. So tips on lead gen. This is super important. Don't just get a couple of leads and then stop. We get excited. And I assure you, you're going to categorize some nurturers as hot leads. And you're going to be more motivated than they are in the beginning because you'll be excited. Don't stop. Keep going. Keep building that database. Keep searching. Keep looking. Keep talking. Do not stop. All about connection goals. All right. How many people am I talking to every single day about real estate in one shape, fashion, or another? Consistency with whatever you are doing and how often. This is the killer for people. Again, they'll do one little thing and then they'll stop and then they'll move on to something else and then they'll stop. Be consistent. Always be closing for something. All right. You're closing for a consultation, you're closing for an appointment, or you're closing for a follow-up. Hey, I know you guys are further out. That's totally fine. Do you mind if I call you back in maybe 3 weeks and I'll just touch base with you? Does that sound okay? Then I put it on my calendar to follow up with them. All about showing value, every bit of this. I'm not a salesperson. I am a helper. I want to help you, but I may have to educate you. I may want to show you some things so that you're a better consumer. I have more education around real estate than you do. So let me help you. Lead gen is the hardest part about real estate. If you master it, you have got this, I assure you. When starting out, let time and effort be your currency. Remember to be cheap, cheerful, and value packed. Though everyone will take your money. Do open houses, do door knocking, do some phone calls, do some social media, do. Choose 3 to 4 ways to lead gen and focus on being consistent. And don't wait. Don't wait till everything's perfect. Don't wait till you get your business card. Don't wait. Start today. Start talking to people. Be excited. You're in real estate. All right. So just real quick, I just want you guys to write this down. I want you to spend 5 to 10 minutes today on 3 to 5 ways that you will focus your time and energy on to lead gen. My 3 to 5 ways are probably going to be different than yours. And actually 5 is probably too many. Send an email to yourself of these 3 to 5 techniques and how much time you commit to lead gen daily. When are you going to do it? Okay. Then get a plan together for your day and your week centered on lead gen. And you're welcome to email it to me. I'll help you with some accountability. I have this in my calendar. I have my lead gen time and I know how I'm going to spend my time. I'm actually going to share my goals with you guys on Thursday. All right. So what is next? So Thursday, we actually are going to move up and we're going to do best business practices because I think it's good to get you guys going on that early. And then next week, we're going to do some working with buyers and then working with sellers. We're going to do some a whole week around technology. Some of that will be EXP systems. Another day will be just on KV Core because that's a very heavy system that we have. We're also going to spend a week, on contracts. One day will be just working with sellers on the contracts, and another one will be buyer contracts. And then we're going to spend some time talking about selling skills. So that'll be 2 sessions. One is around disc profiles and communication styles. How I communicate and how I want to is based around my personality type. But I'm not working with me all the time. I'm working with a lot of different personalities. So I want to make sure that I communicate effectively with people that are very dramatically different from me. And then we'll also talk about questions. I'm very passionate about asking the right questions. We spend a ton of time, I think, as agents on what am I going to say? What do I say? How do I respond? Instead of asking great questions to really learn about people. Because if you ask the right questions, you have to actually say less. So we'll spend some time talking about that in a smart manner. And that's pretty much it, guys. I think I've got some chats in here, I've got some email addresses. So yeah, I'm going to record all of these. I'm going to upload this into a website, a YouTube page today, and then I'll post it on Freedom Builders too, so that you guys can watch a little recap if you want. I have enjoyed today, and I look forward to going through this little journey with you guys over the next couple of weeks. And if you need anything, feel free to reach out. Okay. Thanks, guys. Bye. Okay,